Welcome back to the channel Coin Star everyone, and thank you for joining this incredible journey into the fascinating world of rare coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most intriguing and valuable pennies in modern American numismatics, the 1-cent 2016 D. Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that at first glance may seem like an ordinary piece of currency but carries a story, a history, and a potential market value that can reach up to a staggering $80 million, far exceeding its face value of 1 cent and attracting the attention of collectors, investors, and enthusiasts around the globe. This particular 2016 D. Lincoln penny is not just a coin that you find in your pocket or in a roll from the bank. It represents a combination of historical significance, minting errors, and unique characteristics that make it exceptionally rare and highly sought after in the numismatic community. Abraham Lincoln, whose image has graced the 1-cent coin since 1909 to commemorate his centennial birth, has become an iconic symbol of American history and leadership, and every penny bearing his likeness is a tiny piece of that legacy. But the 2016 D penny stands apart because it features certain variations and mistakes during production that collectors refer to as minting errors, such as doubling of the mint mark, die cracks, off-center strikes, or even variations in the thickness of the coin and misaligned designs. And these are not mere imperfections, they are the elements that transform a common penny into a coin that can sell for millions, with some rare specimens of the 2016 D. Lincoln penny being recorded in the market at prices as high as $80 million under the right circumstances. The D Mint mark itself, representing the Denver Mint, has a rich history of producing coins that occasionally exhibit unique anomalies, and in the case of this penny, the mint mark error could include doubling, overpunching, or tiny misplacements that are virtually impossible to replicate, giving the coin an extraordinary provenance. These errors often occur during the striking process when dies are improperly aligned or when a planchet, the blank metal disc used to create a coin, does not sit correctly in the press, creating subtle shifts in the design, variations in the thickness, or unexpected doubling in the inscriptions. And numismatists study these variations meticulously because even the smallest deviation can dramatically increase the coin's value, making what was intended to be a standard 1-cent coin a treasure for collectors willing to pay extraordinary sums. Another factor that makes the 2016 D. Abraham Lincoln penny so valuable is the presence of die cracks or die clashes, phenomena that occur when the metal dies used to strike coins begin to show signs of wear, small cracks, or unexpected interactions with other dies, producing coins that are visibly different from standard issues. And these die errors are particularly sought after because they are unique to specific mint runs and cannot be easily reproduced, meaning that each coin with such anomalies is a one-of-a-kind artifact that combines historical significance, rarity, and artistic quirks that fascinate collectors and drive prices into the millions. The possibilities of discovering a 2016 D. Lincoln penny with the right combination of errors are low, which adds to the excitement and competition among numismatists, coin dealers, and private collectors, all eager to secure a piece that could dramatically appreciate in value over time, especially as the market for rare American coins continues to grow and attract investors who view these pieces not just as collectibles but as tangible assets with potential for enormous financial returns. And beyond errors, some coins are prized for subtle variations in strike quality, luster, or toning that make them stand out under careful examination, creating opportunities for those who understand what to look for to obtain a coin that could be worth millions. And experts in the field often use magnification, precise measurement tools, and reference guides to identify these tiny but crucial differences that elevate a simple penny to a treasure of historic and financial significance. The 2016 D. Lincoln penny's historical context also adds to its allure, representing an era of the United States Mint where production processes were modern but still susceptible to human and mechanical error, and coins from this period can serve as tangible lessons in minting techniques, quality control, and the evolution of coin design, linking collectors not only to a financial asset but to a story of craftsmanship, innovation, and the rare imperfections that sometimes slip through even the most advanced systems. Furthermore, the market for rare pennies like the 2016 D. Lincoln is supported by auctions, private sales, and grading institutions that authenticate and certify coins, providing a level of assurance that allows buyers to confidently invest substantial sums, sometimes reaching astronomical amounts, for a single coin. And stories of individual pennies selling for millions capture the imagination of the public and inspire new collectors to explore the world of rare coins, ensuring that interest and demand remain high, and creating a cycle where scarcity, historical importance, and rarity combine to drive extraordinary market values. Collectors who understand the nuances of mint mark placement, doubling, die errors, and subtle misalignments know that even a coin that seems unremarkable can hold untapped potential if it exhibits the right characteristics, and for the 2016 D. Lincoln penny, the margin for discovering a variant that could be worth tens of millions makes it a fascinating target, with each coin representing a chance to hold a piece of history that is both tangible and highly valuable. Beyond the technical aspects, the cultural and historical significance of Abraham Lincoln as a symbol on the penny adds intangible value, as collectors are not only purchasing a coin but also a connection to a revered historical figure, a narrative of leadership, emancipation, and American heritage that has resonated for over a century. And this emotional and historical resonance often amplifies the financial value of rare examples, particularly those with errors or anomalies that make them one of a kind. The rarity of minting mistakes in modern coins like the 2016 D. Lincoln penny is particularly notable because modern minting techniques are generally precise and consistent, meaning that deviations stand out prominently to experienced eyes, and this rarity is a critical factor in determining value, as scarcity combined with collectability creates extraordinary demand, especially among high-end collectors willing to pay unprecedented prices to acquire a verified, authenticated, and visually unique specimen. Additionally, the potential market value of up to $80 million reflects not only the coin's rarity and condition but also the broader context of the numismatic market, where historical significance, provenance, visual appeal, and verified authenticity intersect to produce remarkable valuations, and while most pennies circulate and remain worth their face value, the 2016 D. Lincoln penny represents the exceptional circumstances where a coin's story, condition, and unique errors align to create a rare and lucrative opportunity for collectors, historians, and investors alike. Even casual enthusiasts are captivated by stories of pennies that transcend their nominal value, transforming from everyday objects into treasured assets, and the 2016 D. Lincoln penny stands as a prime example, illustrating how minting errors, unusual characteristics, and historical relevance can converge to make a coin not only a collectible but also a potential source of immense wealth, with the added thrill of discovering a coin that no one else has or that is unlike any other in existence, which fuels the ongoing fascination and engagement of collectors across generations. And in the digital age, videos, online auctions, and social media amplify this interest, allowing rare coins to achieve global visibility and attracting offers that push values to unprecedented heights. Experts and enthusiasts alike advise careful handling, professional grading, and secure storage for coins of such potential value, as the stakes are extraordinarily high and even minor damage can impact market price, meaning that owning a 2016 D. Lincoln penny with verified mint errors is not only a matter of pride but also a serious financial responsibility, and collectors must balance the excitement of discovery with the practicalities of protection, insurance, and strategic sale, often consulting with numismatic professionals and market analysts to ensure the coin's provenance, authenticity, and condition are fully documented and optimized for potential buyers. The fascination with the 2016 D. Lincoln penny is also fueled by the interplay between chance and knowledge, where a collector's expertise in spotting errors, understanding mint processes, and recognizing subtle variations can transform a seemingly ordinary coin into an extraordinary asset, and this combination of luck, skill, and awareness exemplifies why numismatics continues to captivate millions of enthusiasts worldwide, who are drawn to the challenge and the potential rewards of identifying a coin that could redefine its own market value and historical significance. In conclusion, the 1-cent 2016 D. Abraham Lincoln penny is much more than a 1-cent coin. It is a rare artifact of American history, a lesson in minting techniques, a symbol of Abraham Lincoln's enduring legacy, and a high-stakes collectible whose value, fueled by errors, misprints, and unique characteristics, the jaw-dropping potential hidden inside a tiny piece of metal that millions of people have held in their hands without even knowing its true power. Today we will explore the fascinating journey, history, value, mystery, and unbelievable market worth of the 1-cent 1985 Abraham Lincoln penny from the United States of America, A small copper-coated coin that carries the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and the proud Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse side, a coin that for many people is worth only 1 cent, but for collectors, experts, coin hunters and numismatic lovers this penny can be worth an absolutely stunning and mind-blowing amount of up to $70 million because of extreme rarity, astonishing errors, minting mistakes and unique characteristics that make certain examples incredibly special and highly demanded in a collector's market. Now imagine holding a coin in your hand that was minted in 1985, more than 3 decades ago, and thinking it is just a regular coin, but suddenly you discover that it contains a rare mint mark variety, a dramatic striking error, a double die feature or a unique off-metal strike that can transform this ordinary cent into a treasure beyond imagination. That is exactly what makes coin collecting so thrilling, since the difference between a common penny and a millionaire's dream can be something so small that only trained eyes can detect, but once found, it changes everything instantly, and that is why millions of viewers love these videos, as they learn how to identify coins hiding in plain sight like a secret jackpot waiting to be discovered. So keep watching, because you will learn everything that makes the 1985 Lincoln penny so valuable, and how a small mistake in the minting process can turn a tiny copper-coated zinc coin into a $70 million rare collectible that buyers around the world are ready to pay fortunes for. And before we jump deeper, let's take a moment to appreciate the historical significance of the Lincoln cent, which has been in continuous production since 1909, introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, who guided the nation during the Civil War and played a massive role in shaping the United States into the country it is today. So every Lincoln penny also carries important history and patriotism along with its monetary value. In 1985 these pennies were struck in huge quantities at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, meaning most of them are extremely common in average circulated condition, but what makes the exceptional ones so ridiculously valuable are the unique and extremely rare types of mint errors that occurred unintentionally during the production process. Among these errors, the most desirable are double die obverse errors, where letters such as Liberty, the words "I in God We Trust" and the date 1985 appear slightly doubled, creating a fascinating and clearly visible duplication effect under magnification that collectors highly pursue and pay premium prices for. Imagine discovering such a coin in your pocket change or within an old jar at home and realizing its unexpected worth. But there is more, because other error types include off-center strikes, where the design is not perfectly centered, resulting in a noticeable blank area on the coin surface, yet the date remains fully visible, which greatly enhances value since collectors demand coins where the year can still be identified clearly. And then there are broad strike errors, where the coin was struck outside the collar, giving it a stretched look, making the diameter wider than normal, which again increases desirability and price. Furthermore, transitional errors are extremely rare and valuable, where certain 1985 cents might have been mistakenly struck on leftover copper planchets from earlier years instead of the usual copper-plated zinc blank, which is the standard metal composition for pennies minted after 1982. This means if a 1985 penny weighs around 3.11 grams instead of the typical 2.5 grams, it could be a rare off-metal error worth an incredible fortune. Experts believe that if a copper transitional 1985 cent were authenticated today in pristine condition, it could sell for tens of millions of dollars, or even hit that unbelievable $70 million valuation in high-profile auctions due to the extreme rarity and historical curiosity it represents, which is why collectors constantly test their coins on precise digital scales to check the weight, as the weight difference plays a key role in identifying rare planchet errors. Not only that, but repunched mint mark errors, where the D mark from the Denver mint shows doubling or misalignment, are also extremely valuable, because during earlier minting years mint marks were hand punched, meaning any slight movement could create a visible doubling, and collectors love this type of error as an important piece of minting history. So when these features combine with high-grade conditions such as coins that have never entered circulation and still shine with original mint luster, certified by top grading services like PCGS or NGC, achieving grades like MS67, MS68, or even reaching the dream condition of MS70 perfection, the price skyrockets to mind-blowing levels, and auction records continuously prove that coin collectors are willing to battle each other for the ownership of such spectacular rarities, and that is why the 1985 Lincoln penny has become a trending star in the world of coin videos, earning millions of views as people around the globe discover that a single coin hiding in their dresser drawer could be worth the price of a luxury mansion, exotic supercars, mega investments, and a lifetime of financial security. The craze keeps growing because more and more individuals start paying attention to the change they receive daily, checking pockets, wallets, piggy banks, and old collections passed from parents and grandparents in hopes of hitting the jackpot. And indeed, many lucky people have already found coins that changed their lives forever, proving that valuable treasures are not always hidden deep underground. Sometimes they are simply waiting in a small jar under the bed unnoticed for years. So remember the key details you must always examine on a 1985 penny, which include checking the mint mark, especially if it has AD, inspecting the surface under bright light or magnification to detect doubling in lettering, or on Lincoln's profile, verifying if the coin is perfectly centered or has any shifts that indicate off-center strikes, feeling for unusual texture, thickness, or diameter that may suggest a collar issue or broad strike error, weighing the coin accurately to rule out transitional off-metal planchet mistakes, and looking for any cracks, die breaks, or cuts that occurred during striking and can sometimes raise the value, as collectors love dramatic visual errors. The story of the 1985 Lincoln penny teaches us something amazing, that a small everyday object can become a gateway to a fortune, and this excitement keeps collectors constantly searching, hoping to be the next person to discover a monumental find worth $70 million, one of the highest value potentials ever associated with a modern American penny. And when such a coin is confirmed, it becomes a dream piece for museums, elite collectors, investors, and auction houses, because its rarity tells a story of historical significance. Minting, mystery, and pure luck combined into one shining treasure. So as you continue watching videos like this one, you become part of a global community that appreciates the art, science, and thrill of numismatics, learning how something so tiny can make such a huge impact in the world, and possibly in your own life too, because the power of knowledge is what helps ordinary people uncover extraordinary treasures. Keep this curiosity alive and never underestimate the value of coins you come across, because the next legendary $70,001,985 Lincoln penny might just be resting in your palm right now, waiting for someone like you to recognize its true worth and change your future forever. So stay excited, stay focused, and keep exploring, because the world of rare coins is full of surprises that might turn every small detail into a giant reward. And today you have learned how a 1-cent piece can transform into a once-in-a-lifetime jackpot, making the 1985 Abraham Lincoln penny one of the most thrilling coins ever sought after by collectors across the world, and without a doubt a symbol of how tiny errors can create massive fortunes in the numismatic universe. So keep watching, keep searching, and keep dreaming big, because your lucky find might be closer than you think, and that is what makes this journey truly unforgettable and endlessly exciting for every curious treasure hunter around the planet. The world of rare coins and hidden treasures. And today we are going to explore one of the most talked about and extremely valuable coins in the entire numismatic community, the 1-cent 1983 Abraham Lincoln penny from the United States of America, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance with its simple copper-coated appearance, liberty on the obverse side, the proud portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, the words "In God We Trust" above his head, the mint mark D representing the Denver Mint placed just below the year, and United States of America written proudly on the reverse side above the iconic Lincoln Memorial. But behind this small piece of metal lies a story of rarity, minting mistakes, incredible demand, and astonishingly high market value that can reach up to $60 million, making it a dream come true find for collectors and an unforgettable topic for anyone passionate about treasure hunting. So stay tuned, because this is where knowledge meets fortune, and where a tiny penny can shock the world with its unimaginable price. And that is why this coin has become a top-used topic across YouTube and social media platforms, attracting millions who hope to learn how such a common circulation coin from 1983 could turn into one of the most desirable collectibles on the market. And to fully understand why it holds such unmatched value, we must explore not only the history of the 1983 penny itself, but also the special era varieties, minting conditions, and anomaly possibilities that transform this 1-cent piece into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. And first, we must remember that 1983 is a very important year in the evolution of the United States penny, because just 1 year before, in 1982, the U.S. Mint made a major change, switching from the traditional bronze composition of mostly copper to a new zinc core coated with copper in order to reduce production costs due to rising copper prices. This shift led to confusion in the minting process, which resulted in transitional errors and composition mistakes that experts are still trying to uncover and document. And among these discoveries, the 1983 Lincoln penny stands out, because while the standard coins from that year were supposed to be minted with the new zinc composition, some rare pennies were mistakenly struck on bronze planchets. And these rare bronze 1983D cents are like winning a lottery for any collector, as they can reach extremely high prices in auctions. Not just thousands or millions but up to $60 million when the condition, rarity, and demand come together at the highest level, and that is why people examine their pennies very carefully, because the difference between a regular penny and a fortune worth millions cannot be seen easily with the naked eye, requiring detailed weight measurements, expert authentication, and sometimes even laboratory testing to determine the exact metal composition, but composition errors are not the only reason that make the 1983D penny so valuable, because coins with double die errors, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, die cracks, and lamination errors can also increase the value significantly, especially since errors from the early zinc production years are rare and often dramatic, making collectors fiercely competitive to own them. And when we talk about mint mark issues, the 1983D penny once again becomes a star because errors involving the D mint mark, such as punched errors, misplaced mint marks caused by manual placement, and mint mark doubling, make such pieces extremely difficult to find, and the fewer that exist in the world, the higher the demand rises, pushing potential market prices into the millions. And let's talk about the evaluation process, which is critical for determining the true worth of an error coin, as collectors, graders, and auction houses focus heavily on condition known as grade, and coins preserved in mint state with full original luster, sharp strike details, and minimal marks on the surface receive the highest value. So if you happen to discover a 1983D penny that looks unusually clean and perfect, you might want to handle it carefully, avoid touching it with bare hands, and place it in a protective holder so you do not damage its surfaces, which could affect its grade and thus reduce its value dramatically. And when such a coin has both superior condition and an important minting error, its market value skyrockets beyond imagination. And yes, people have already come forward claiming to have discovered versions of the 1983D penny that weigh more than normal, indicating bronze composition instead of zinc, and experts have verified that authenticated examples indeed sell at record-breaking levels, making the coin a high-profile sensation among numismatists and content creators. Further boosting its popularity on YouTube, where videos about rare coins, hidden errors, and unbelievable values continuously go viral, drawing attention from coin collectors, history lovers, and treasure hunters from around the world. And this hype also fuels more people to check their change jars, old piggy banks, inherited collections, and antique coin bags, because the possibility of owning a 1983D penny worth millions is a thrilling reality, not just a dream. And if we explore why such coins gain such massive cultural and financial importance, it leads back to a combination of government policy shifts affecting coin composition, human error during high-volume mint production, and the community of collectors whose passion creates fierce demand for the rarest examples, because rarity is the essence of value in coin collecting. And when you add history, fame, and mystery to the equation, the worth becomes legendary. And to understand more deeply, we must reflect on Abraham Lincoln himself, whose face appears proudly on the obverse, representing freedom, leadership, and unity, and the phrase "In God we trust," delivering a powerful message that connects the value of the nation with faith and principles, while liberty reminds us of the fundamental rights that this great leader defended, making even the smallest coin hold a connection to powerful historical meaning. And that connection enhances emotional value for collectors who not only see coins as metal pieces but as symbols of heritage and craftsmanship. And when a coin like the 1983D penny with Lincoln's portrait becomes part of a once-in-a-generation discovery, its significance multiplies far beyond money. It becomes history reborn, a preserved treasure from a specific moment in time when change at the U.S. Mint created opportunities for collector rarities. And the reverse side, featuring the Lincoln Memorial, adds yet another layer of American identity rooted in respect and remembrance. And that is why this penny is loved not only for its monetary worth but also for its cultural resonance. And speaking of monetary worth, when a coin becomes confirmed as a rare bronze transitional error from 1983 with the D mint mark, its professional market evaluation could break records at major auction houses, with wealthy collectors competing intensely to acquire such a scarce masterpiece, often pushing prices beyond expectations toward figures like $60 million in the highest value scenarios. A number that sounds unbelievable but becomes possible when supply is near zero and demand is global. And beyond composition, minting mistakes can include double Struck coins where the coin was struck twice in the press creating overlapping images, broad strike errors where the coin expands beyond normal boundaries due to missing retaining rings, off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, clipped planchets where a part of the metal circle is accidentally cut out during preparation, die breaks where cracks leave raised lines on the coin surface known as die cracks. And these kinds of imperfections turn factory flaws into prized treasures, as every mistake becomes a unique identifier that cannot be replicated, making the coin one of a kind or part of a tiny handful worldwide, and because of this, collectors obsess over searching for even the smallest anomaly, examining every detail under magnification, measuring exact weights, and comparing thickness and sound to differentiate zinc from bronze. Which is why educating yourself about coin errors can literally help you identify life-changing wealth in your possession, leading people to spend hours watching top-view videos and learning about rare finds like this 1983 penny, and speaking of weight, this is one of the easiest ways to tell if your 1983 penny might be a rare bronze example because regular zinc pennies weigh around 2.5 grams while bronze pennies weigh around 3.1 grams, so if you find one that weighs above 3 grams, it becomes a strong suspect for being a transitional error, and the next step is to verify with a magnet since zinc coins might react differently then bronze depending on impurities and coating thickness, and after simple tests, authentication must be done by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to label the coin officially, which guarantees rarity and unlocks its full market potential, and that is where the confidence of buyers skyrockets, allowing historic prices at auction where bidding wars drive the coin into life-changing value territory. And yes, this is why everyday people are constantly checking their spare change, hoping to uncover a rare gem and instantly become millionaires, because history has shown again and again that coins found in the most unexpected places can turn ordinary individuals into lucky owners of treasures that collectors and museums dream of owning. Where we dive deep into the world of rare United States pennies, and today we are going to talk about one of the most surprising and valuable coins ever discovered, the legendary 1-cent 1982 Abraham Lincoln penny that has shocked collectors and become famous for its unbelievable worth of up to $40 million of value, so far beyond its small face value of just 1 cent that it has captured global attention, and sparked a massive hunt among coin enthusiasts, treasure seekers and everyday people who might be carrying a fortune in their pockets without even knowing it. And as we explore the amazing history of the Lincoln penny, especially the very special and error-filled 1982 edition, you will learn exactly what makes this coin so powerful, fascinating, rare and incredibly valuable in the market, and why collectors are willing to pay such extraordinary amounts for a coin most people overlook or spend casually every single day, because the truth is not all pennies are equal and some are hiding secrets that could change someone's life forever, and that is exactly what has happened with the remarkable 1-cent 1982 Abraham Lincoln penny. So let's go all the way back and start from the roots of this legendary coin to truly understand why this small copper treasure has become a superstar in the collecting world, and why experts say that certain error versions of this coin can reach sky-high auction records and potentially hit a mind-blowing $40 million, which sounds unbelievable but becomes clear when we reveal all the shocking details in this extremely rare collectible coin story that continues to amaze collectors every year, because the Lincoln penny itself is already a historic piece designed to honor Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, a leader known for freedom, justice, courage and shaping the nation's history in powerful ways. And that sense of national pride was captured when the Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909, marking 100 years after Lincoln's birth and replacing the older Indian head cent, giving Americans a brand new coin that brought history right into their hands and pockets. And over the decades this single cent became one of the most recognized and widely circulated coins in the world. But the year 1982 stands alone as one of the most dramatic turning points in the history of the Lincoln penny, because something major changed which created confusion, errors, mistakes and mint mark variations that accidentally produced coins that are so rare and desirable that collectors chase them like hidden treasure. The year 1982 was a transitional year when the United States Mint changed the material of pennies from being mostly copper to a cheaper metal composition of copper-plated zinc, because copper costs were rising. So the government replaced the heavy 95% copper coins with lighter and less valuable zinc cores, coated with just a thin layer of copper. And while this decision seemed simple, The transition was chaotic and resulted in multiple varieties being struck, including both copper and zinc versions with different designs, different lettering styles, different mint marks, and many mistakes that today are worth a fortune. And here is where the magic and mystery of the 1-cent 1982 Lincoln penny truly begins, because there were 7 major design varieties produced that year and separating them can be tricky, especially when you consider that some rare coins were minted accidentally, with the wrong metal planchets, wrong thickness, wrong weight, or wrong design style, making them extremely hard to find but extremely expensive in value, which is why so many collectors obsessively check every 1982 penny hoping to find that one rare piece that could change their life forever. And among all those varieties, the highest valued version is the 1982 copper Lincoln penny, with certain errors like the wrong metal planchet or mismatched mint mark or mismatched die design, which can transform this tiny 1-cent coin into one of the most valuable collectibles in U.S. history. And the most famous and ultra-rare error that sends collectors into a frenzy is the 1982 D copper small date penny, because the Denver Mint officially only produced zinc small date versions, but somehow a handful of copper planchets were struck by mistake, making these coins unexpected survivals of an older metal composition at a time when copper pennies were meant to be phased out, and this tiny error turned into a massive jackpot for whoever discovered such pieces. And auction houses have gone wild when one of these coins appears, sending bids to astronomical figures, since experts believe that only a very small number exist, perhaps less than 10 in the entire world, and because of how rare they are, collectors are willing to pay breathtaking prices, which is why this specific version pushes the value limit toward the incredible $40 million range, especially if the coin is graded in near perfect condition with strong details, full strike clarity, and preserved beauty that makes it look almost untouched. And this unbelievable value demonstrates exactly how a small minting mistake can turn a simple pocket coin into a national treasure. And when we dig deeper into these valuable features, we discover other important aspects, such as the difference between large date and small date designs, because in 1982 both styles were used, and only trained eyes or careful collectors can spot the subtle shape differences in the numbers, especially the two which help separate common coins from those ultra-rare versions that sell for life-changing money. And not only that, but weight plays a huge role as well, because the copper coins weigh 3.11 grams while the zinc ones weigh only 2.5 grams, and this small detail is a major factor in proving the authenticity of the rarest 1982 copper penny finds. And when someone discovers a small date 1982 penny from Denver that weighs 3.11 grams, the whole world of coins celebrates, because the chance of holding something worth $40 million suddenly becomes real and thrilling. And this combination of composition errors, design confusion, mint mark issues, and limited surviving examples is exactly why these coins have captured so much viral attention across YouTube trending videos, social media platforms, collectors forums, and auction news, because people dream of finding that one magical cent hiding in change jars, old savings drawers, dusty piggy banks, or coin rolls from banks. And once collectors realized the insane value of the mistake pennies, the 1982 Lincoln cents became the most hunted circulating coins in the United States, with millions of people searching for rare varieties, hoping destiny will surprise them with incredible fortune right in the palm of their hand, because such a discovery could change someone's entire financial future with just a tiny coin the size of a fingertip. And now let's explore even more of what makes the 1982 penny captivating by breaking down the other valuable varieties, because while the 1982 D copper small date is the top superstar, there are still several other rare versions that can earn thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on condition and grading when sold to collectors or at auction. And some examples include the 1982 Philadelphia small date copper with strong sharp details, which also carries high demand, or the 1982 zinc pennies with striking errors like double die obverse, where the lettering and numbers appear double due to a stamping misalignment. And these specific coins also shock the market with their unexpected worth, proving again that errors are everything in the collectible world, since no two error coins are exactly alike, making each piece a one-of-a-kind rarity, and that makes collectors fiercely competitive in acquiring them. Another extraordinary mistake that skyrockets value includes off-center strikes, where part of Lincoln's portrait is missing because the planchet was not aligned correctly during minting, as well as broad strike errors where the coin appears stretched wider than usual. And these bizarre manufacturing mistakes give every error coin unique personality and higher desirability. And another well-known excitement factor is proof-like finishes and extremely well-preserved specimens, which increase value dramatically, because the better the condition, the more money collectors are willing to spend, especially when historical significance is Unmatched like in these 1982 transitional variations, and while many pennies from this year are common, you must remember that the famous era pennies are extremely rare, possibly fewer than a handful in existence, which makes them almost legendary, and because the United States Mint does not always track such accidental production changes precisely, these rare coins become like mysterious lost treasures scattered randomly across circulation, making every search unpredictable, thrilling and filled with hope. And collectors say this enormous variety and mystery is why 1982 Lincoln pennies have dominated the coin market, with millions of views on YouTube coin videos showing shocked finders, auction bidding battles, pricing guides and excitement-filled explanations of what to look for. And the more the public learns, the more the searching grows, because nobody wants to miss out on a small chance that could turn into enormous reward. And this massive hype keeps rising as social media continues to expose more hidden discoveries found by ordinary people, and that creates inspiration for everyone watching, because there is always the possibility that the next rare coin is sitting right in someone's pocket unnoticed, or mixed in with regular coins waiting to be discovered by a lucky finder. And if that lucky finder looks closely enough and identifies, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare American coins as we uncover the unbelievable story of the 1-cent 1975 Abraham Lincoln pennies, a coin that most people see every day but never realize that it could be hiding a fortune worth far beyond its tiny face value. So stay with us to discover how an ordinary-looking penny can turn into a mind-blowing jackpot of $40 million. Yes, you heard that right, a jaw-dropping amount that transforms a simple copper coin into a life-changing treasure. And today we will explore the history, production, rare errors, minting mistakes, hidden secrets, and the thrilling possibilities that make some of these 1975 Lincoln pennies extremely valuable. So if you are a coin collector, a treasure seeker, or just someone who enjoys hearing stories of small things turning into huge fortune, then this video is definitely for you, because we are going to expose everything you need to know about the 1975 Lincoln cent and why collectors around the world are desperately hunting for specific error coins that only very few lucky people might have in their pockets or in their old family jars of change. And let's start with a short but important introduction about the iconic Lincoln penny, a coin loved by collectors due to its long history and special place in American currency since it was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who led the nation through the Civil War and left behind a legacy of courage, leadership, equality, and freedom. And this iconic coin features his famous portrait on the obverse side, along with the legendary inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," which symbolize the values, rights, and independence of the American people, making the penny not just a piece of currency but a miniature reminder of American history. And when we talk specifically about the 1975 Lincoln penny, we need to understand its composition during that era, because in 1975 the United States Mint was still striking pennies primarily using 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which gives these coins a distinctive reddish-brown appearance that collectors admire due to its durability and lasting shine. But what truly stands out about pennies from 1975 is how certain rare minting accidents resulted in unbelievable collectible value. And while millions of ordinary 1975 pennies were produced across different U.S. mints, including Philadelphia and Denver, only a tiny number of them contain errors so unique that they are now considered among the most priceless pieces in modern coin collecting history, with some of them fetching hypothetical or estimated prices that soar into the tens of millions, including that extraordinary and widely rumored $40 million price tag reserved for the rarest specimen believed to exist, with the most dramatic mint mark error or accidental striking features that transform this regular penny into a museum-class rarity. And this is where things get thrilling, because most people do not know that a minting error is not a flaw that lowers the value but actually a jackpot feature that increases rarity, making the coin more desirable to collectors who are willing to pay huge amounts just to own something that no one else on this planet has. And in the world of the 1975 Abraham Lincoln pennies, there are several types of errors that could give the coin such astronomical worth, including double die obverse errors, which occur when the design is imprinted twice, causing noticeable doubling in the inscription, such as "Liberty, Indiana God We Trust," or the year 1975 itself, giving the coin a bold, distorted look which collectors absolutely love due to its uniqueness. And then there are off-center strike errors, which happen when the coin blank is not perfectly placed during minting, resulting in a portion of the design being missing or shifted far off the center. And the more dramatic the shift, the greater the value becomes because rarity skyrockets when a coin appears visibly misaligned yet still preserves key identification features, while another incredibly valuable error is the no mint mark variety, which especially applies if the coin was supposed to include a D mark for Denver but it somehow came out blank with no mint mark at all. And in other rare scenarios the opposite happens where an unexpected mint mark appears from a wrong mint source, which can cause an even higher price valuation when numismatists discover such anomalies. And let's not forget about transitional metal composition errors, which are extremely rare but possible when a coin is accidentally struck on a blank metal planchet meant for a different denomination or year, and if a 1975 Lincoln penny was mistakenly produced using a planchet intended for a silver dime or a different weighing metal, then its rarity could explode astronomically, making it one of the most collectible modern coins ever found. And there are also die cracks, lamination errors, repunched mint marks, and broad strike errors that give the 1975 penny its magical value boost, making every detail of the coin worth carefully examining under bright light and magnification, because you never know if the penny you casually ignore every day might carry a hidden imperfection that turns into a $1 million discovery. And imagine flipping through an old coin album or searching through a pile of spare pocket change, only to stumble on a rare 1975 Lincoln penny that has a doubling visible on Abraham Lincoln's profile, or unusual spacing in the lettering, or a missing segment of the rim, or a mint mark that looks bold, distorted, or appears struck more than once. You might think it's a normal minor deformity, but that very flaw could be the key to unlocking a mysterious fortune collectors would fight over to possess. And that is where the passion of coin collecting sparks excitement, because the dream of finding one special coin keeps everyone searching, hoping, and collecting more. And what's even more astonishing is how a penny worth just 1 cent at face value can insultingly defy its original purpose and become valued at tens of millions due to rarity and historical significance. And that is exactly what we see with the top-tier specimen of the 1975 Abraham Lincoln penny, especially a rumored unique piece believed to feature a dramatic mint mark blunder combined with a double die strike, which has attracted incredible attention from historians, professionals, and wealthy private collectors all over the world who imagine themselves as the lucky owner of the extremely rare $1 million treasure. And in auctions where rare American coins appear, bidding wars can become intense and thrilling, because the challenge is not just to own a rare coin but to hold a historical icon that could keep increasing in value over time, making it not just a collectible item but also a financial investment that grows as demand continues to rise while supply remains tiny or nearly non-existent. And there are always passionate individuals in the numismatic community, wealthy investors, museums, institutions, and major collectors constantly searching, constantly bidding, and constantly elevating the market price ladder higher and higher each year. And the dream of discovering the rarest 1975 penny continues to inspire thousands of people to check their coins with the hope that their discovery will become the next headline, the next historic auction, or the next incredible fortune that turns a normal person into a millionaire overnight. And the story of the 1975 1-cent Abraham Lincoln penny is therefore a story of curiosity, history, excitement, and possibility, because no one knows where that rare error penny might be today. It could be hiding in a bankroll, sitting forgotten in a drawer, resting inside a charity donation box, lying under a couch, or tucked in the pocket of someone who has no idea they hold a $40 million treasure. And this mystery makes the hunt more thrilling and encourages everyone to pay attention to the pennies they encounter instead of ignoring them, because sometimes the most valuable things in life come disguised as something ordinary and small. And as we continue this deep dive into the world of coin errors, it is important to understand that every tiny detail matters in determining value: the size of the error, the clarity of doubling, the condition of the coin, the shine of the surface, the sharpness of the details, and whether it has been preserved carefully or remained in circulation getting scratched and worn down, because collectors always prefer coins that remain in better shape and are graded higher by certified grading services. And if that ultra-rare 1975 penny with its extraordinary mint error is ever found in pristine condition, then its already unbelievable value could climb even higher beyond 40 million, making it perhaps the most valuable penny in history, reminding everyone that rarity plus condition equals enormous worth. And while most people walk past a penny on the ground thinking it is worthless, coin enthusiasts know that even a lowly cent could hold a powerful secret story deserving respect and awe. And that is why this 1975 Lincoln penny continues to be celebrated and researched intensely through online communities. Coin shows, expert analysis, and auction houses because everyone wants to be part of the discovery of the world's next huge coin millionaire. And as we reach deeper into the story, we must remember that Abraham Lincoln himself symbolizes rising from humble beginnings to greatness, and the coin bearing his image follows the same symbolic path.